Hi everybody, Allegra here, or the Bonnet Mom. No transition today. I'm having a bad hair day, so I just don't want you to see me without the bonnet. Pardon the wind, but I was hoping it would make this video a little bit more interesting, add a little texture to the video. But if it doesn't work out, then I'll just re-record. So hopefully it'll work out. At any rate, I am gonna show you a little update on the garden and then the chicken coop, and then show you some new artwork that is available on my website. But before I get into that, I just wanted to run by you this idea, or I don't know, it's just a thought. I went into the city yesterday with my family. We all went over and we took my mom shopping, and so it's Seattle. And let me tell you, growing up here, I always loved going into Seattle. Back in the day, Seattle was so freaking cool. And you know, as a child, as a teenager, and then even as a young adult, there were just so many amazing places to go in Seattle, and they still are. It's just, I don't know, Seattle just doesn't feel as cool and edgy to me anymore. And going there yesterday, it just reminded me of how unpleasant I find cities. And maybe it's because of my age, you know. Is being in a city just a young people's game? Well, obviously not. There are people of all ages in the cities, and people of all ages love the city and things like that. But, you know, my husband and I were talking, like, what is the point? Why would we want to go into the city? Seattle is a beautiful, beautiful place. The yards, the homes, you look at all the homes, and it's like practically every house was built during the Craftsman period or something, and the yards are beautiful. Driving through is just beautiful, except now there's all these really sanctimonious yard signs and bumper stickers, which makes it unpleasant for me personally. But going into Seattle now, I kind of throw my hands up. It's the virtue signaling, the visual virtue signaling on the cars and in the yards, and it is in my area too. I don't live in Seattle. I live isolated enough away from Seattle that I am removed, but still that sentiment is around here if I go to the store and stuff. It's just not as concentrated. Whoa. Yikes. I don't like that. Makes me nervous. Anyway, I know I'm digressing. My question to you all is, do you feel like the cities are going to be kind of obsolete? When we went into the city yesterday, and I've talked about this in the past a little bit, but it's like, what's the point? Why would I want to go into Seattle? They have an awesome aquarium, and I'm rethinking this because of my children. If I didn't have kids, I would have absolutely no reason to go there, except to take my mom shopping. But that's kind of like, I'm thinking about downtown area, or the kind of cool areas like Broadway or Ballard or Fremont, the other areas that I used to love to go, you know, the waterfront, Pike Place Market, stuff like that. Now, with our children, they're going to want to see that stuff. They're going to want to go to the aquarium and the zoo and, see the Arboretum. I do love the Arboretum. So I want them to experience that as well. So I see us visiting and things like that. But what do you all think? What's your experience with cities? I mean, obviously there's going to be people who live there, but with all the technology and everything, people can work remotely. They don't have to go into work into the city. What's going to happen with all these skyscrapers? I think about that, like all this real estate, when things can be done remotely. Pretty much everything is online. Shopping is online. People still like to go in, like I said, go to the aquarium. People want to be around other people. Not me. I don't like being around big crowds anymore. Is it a young person's game going into the city, being around, going to shows and all that stuff? I'm noticing the urban sprawl. I've been noticing this a lot over, pretty much my whole life. People kind of trickling out of the cities. You know, once you get a little bit older, you have your youth in the city. It's fun, it's exciting, and then you settle down, get married, have kids, and you go to suburbia, or you go even further out Yeah, that's always been the case. But now, will there be a broader distribution of people across the land? I'm also thinking about that bike path. There's like a transcontinental bike path. I'm sure there's more, but they're connecting like old railways and things like that. And there's the e-bike now where you can basically travel 100 miles no problem on an e-bike. People can congregate around this bike path. There can be hotels, little towns, things like that. So I'm just wondering if there's going to be just these migrations out of cities into either smaller towns, so we'll have like more of a distribution of smaller towns, or will it just be like this? I keep doing this because I'm dotting the map, like more spread out of people. And there's a part of me that's wondering, well, geez, so then let's say my family wants to be isolated. We don't want to be within 20 miles of anybody. Can that be more possible? I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of all of this, and it's hard to really speculate what can happen. But we have Starlink and 5G and all of these technological miracles or curses, depending on your point of view, happening. And what's the point of the city, really, if you can get out? And so I don't know. I was just gonna run that by you all. What do you think? What's your experience in your area? Do you feel like or do you see that more people are kind of moving and spreading out? You see around, let's say you live out in the country, is your little country area getting more populated? Is it, I don't think that there is one answer, because there's different areas and things fluctuate and change depending on the circumstances. But I was thinking about cities and was just curious what you all thought. I got a camera stabilizer. My husband is the best husband in the whole wide world, and he bought me a stabilizer for Mother's Day. So I need to get a different microphone to make it work with the stabilizer. So I'm just going to show you like a little tour of the garden really quick. And exciting. I get to play with my new electronic toy. So let's go look at the garden. If you're interested in seeing our homestead update, stick around. I'm about to kind of show you around the garden here. We have my little dahlia area. I know there's cardboard everywhere. I'm working on it, but basically laying out the cardboard to cover up weeds and then covering it up with hay for right now because I don't have access to wood chips. Anyway, I got my Kentucky Wonder pole beans started here. I'm going to be growing more, but I have them growing up a cattle panel here. It's going to be like a little arch. Let's check out the compost. I'm so proud of my little compost pile. Still breaking down. I probably should turn it over. I haven't been doing very well with the broccoli. One of my broccoli, I think, got destroyed by a vole. I got these beer cans here. Those are my slug trap beers. Got my herbs, catnip and sage. Some chard and nasturtiums. Peas are growing up. I need to do another tier of string for them to climb up. And I've got a bunch of kale and beets coming up. I have a bunch of turnip greens popping up here, the marigolds, and then I got some elephant garlic from my sister's garden. I'm pretty excited. Hopefully that'll work out. I found a couple areas where the bunnies got in. They went to town on my strawberries and my gladiolas. Darn it. Got some dill growing here. Got lots of things going on. We got some basil and dahlias, sunflowers, cucumbers, and then I have tomatoes and jalapenos growing in there. That is the interior part of the fenced area, and then out where the dahlias are and out in the yard, I'm just going to be planting squash. No predators for the squash. Bunnies and deer tend to stay away from them. They don't bother them. So I'll be filling the yard with bunches of different types of squash. That'll be fun. Let's look inside the hen house. I put a new little perch up there. Want to open it?
Yeah.
Chickens. Come on. Here they come. Oh. Well, hello. Hi there. So my son and daughter and I went into the coop this morning and just kind of visited the little hens, dug up the dirt to get them some worms. They've been macking on the worms, so that's good. I need to order them some mealworms or something like that. I was thinking of raising my own mealworms. I don't know. Well, I'm thinking about it. Yet another project, right? Okay, this is a little kind of watercolor sketch that I wanted to show you all. I'm gonna be putting together a journal collection of just kind of the goings on around here, and this is kind of just like a watercolor sketch of my children and me at the fire, kind of in front of that little teepee that I built for them last week. And then here is that springtime poster that I was working on. I made one last week where it was just kind of a rough sketch. But this one I'm putting in a little more, let's say, control. So those are the first layers. So I'll be building upon that over the next several days. Hopefully they'll be done next week. All right, so there is the garden, the art, the coop, and I wanted to make sure y'all remember, if you didn't see my video last week, I mentioned that my twin sister Scruffy is going to be coming up to visit. So I got a text from her last night and she is on her way. She's on the road. So I'm pretty excited. In her words, she is about to drop a new video on her channel that is Scruffy Jones. So keep your eye out for that. She said she's going to try to drop it in the next few days. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what she's up to. She hasn't done anything in a really long time, so check her out and keep tuned in to here to see the fun that we're gonna have when she comes to visit. Okay, everybody, that's it for this week's video. Remember, you can check out my What's New blog on my website, allegrarosebrown.com. I'll put the link below. I add some more things to the blog that you don't necessarily see in the video, and it's a lot of fun. You can also see all my social media and links to my art, things like that. All right, everybody, I really appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!